Hello, you guys, what is up? I'm super excited for today's video. We are going to be filming finally a Shop My Stash update. I don't know what it is, but I cannot get myself motivated to film Shop My Stash updates. They used to be my favorite. Forgive me while I'm distractedly looking around for my lip oil to put on. They used to be one of my favorite videos to film, and I just cannot get excited to film them, but you guys always seem to be wanting to see them, and I do like doing a Shop My Stash. It's just the actual filming, and I think maybe it's because I have to bring my lights and my camera over into my closet, and I don't know, it's been a little bit since we filmed a Shop My Stash, and every month I'm like, oh, I really want to get into filming these every 3 weeks, and then 6 weeks plus go by and I finally get around to it. So I used to get ready at my vanity, in my bathroom, and I have moved my makeup over to my desk. It was my newest feng shui. I'm always every 3 to 4 weeks, I'm oh, gotta change something up. And so this past time I moved all of my makeup into my desk. So when I get ready now, I just get ready at my desk. So I have 2 drawers dedicated to my makeup stash, or what's in my Shop My Stash, and then I do still have I'm gonna try and lift these up. It's been a bit of a chaotic day. I just walked 4 miles. This is my I put my makeup on, and then I was gonna film, and I was like, you know what, I really feel in my soul that I need to go for a walk right now. So I walked 4 miles in this makeup, so it's all but sweated off. And then I took my hair out of my braids, and I feel like my hair has a mind of its own now. But and I also spilled my Celsius on my shirt. It's been so new products I have in this acrylic organizer, new still testing products, and then I have an exact same acrylic organizer on my desk that has all of my Shop My Stash products in it as well. I'm going to carefully set that down. And then I have anything in my Shop My Stash, which it's pure chaos. I don't know if any of this is stuff that I had in my last Shop My Stash, but we're gonna go through what's currently in my drawers, and then we are going to go Shop My Stash for products for the next month. Summer products, things that I want to focus on the next 4 weeks or so. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned. First, if you haven't yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, chaos, Shop My Stash videos, you're not getting those that often, clearly, we just went over that, but I do want to be better about that. Or just if you like chit, can you tell it's getting towards the end of the day? Or if you like chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. I'm just gonna start at the drawer all the way over to my left, and we're gonna talk about there's not really order even to my drawers yet, but I have these 2 primers pulled, and currently I'll leave my playlist for any project pan that I'm currently participating in, so you can kind of get a feel for what products I'm currently using in my project pan. But I'm almost through my e.l.f. Watermelon Jelly Pop Primer, and then I am going to pull during this, when we shop, I think I'm going to pull my e.l.f. Power Grip, because I would love to get through that by the end of the summer. Plus I feel like it's the perfect time to be reaching for that primer. I am going to put back the Fenty primer, the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. It's just the deluxe size. I feel like I can easily get, I'm not in a rush to finish that, but I am going to keep my First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer pulled, just because this is the perfect summer primer. It smells like coconuts. It has a beautiful glow. I love this primer. It's very hydrating on the skin, so I'm going to keep that primer in. What else do we have going on in this drawer? No other primers. Should we talk powders? We could do, or should we talk concealers next? The 2 concealers, I feel like I've been working on these for quite a while. I also have my Dior concealer that I'm working on in my project pan, but I have the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric, which I don't think that they make anymore. When I finish my Dior concealer, this is the next one I'm going to work on in my project. I do really want to try the new Giorgio Armani Power Silk fabric, whatever his new or the new concealer is, because I feel like I've heard nothing but good things. But I was even in Target today, and I almost purchased the NYX Bare With Me concealer, and I was like, girlfriend, no. First of all, it's June and you're supposed to be on a no buy, and second of all, like finish a concealer. Just finish a concealer. You don't get excited about concealer, so finish a concealer before you buy one. But also I have the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I've used both of these quite a bit. I should put these back. My concealer collection, I am really whittling it down. There's not a whole heck of a lot left to choose from, but it's been a little bit since I have used my LYS concealer, so I think I'm going to pull that one, and I will put these two back, knowing that I will be reaching for this or pulling this into my Rolling Project 10 pan when I finish my Dior concealer. Powders, I have my number 7 Lift and Illuminate. I am just going to keep this in my desk drawer. This is one of the products I believe I put in my 23 products I want to finish in 2023, and I have a good pan going on this. This is the powder I use every single day to set my under eyes. I don't think I'll repurchase this when I finish it, just because I have so many other so many other powders in my collection. I think this is a great one, but I won't feel the need to go run out and purchase it, but I do want to still finish this year. So I'm going to keep that one pulled. I'm going to also keep my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Luminous Light pulled. Huge pan on this. Another product I'm trying to finish this year. I think this is a beautiful setting powder, so that is going to just stay in. Those two will probably just stay in until they're empties. But then I also have, so this is my RCMA powder in my Laura Mercier container, just because the container suits this powder more. This is my oldest loose powder in my collection. It is so rare that I reach for loose powder anymore, but I would love to get through this. I have about half of this container left. Perhaps I should throw this into a project. But I'm also going to keep this powder because it's one of my oldest, and I really would like to get through this powder. So I'm gonna keep that also. I don't think I'll pull any new powders into this Shop My Stash rotation. Okay, I'm trying to like organize this as we go. So we have primer, concealer, powder. Oh, I forgot, I have this. I think my sister gave this to me. I think I may have taken this from her when she was having her garage sale. I paid her like $5 for like a large bag of makeup. This is the Bobbi Brown Enriched Face Base. It's just a little deluxe size. And I put this in my Shop My Stash rotation because I was like, oh, this could be an easy, quick like use up for me. So I'm gonna keep this pulled. I haven't used it yet, but I also feel like I've heard nothing but great things about that being a great hydrating primer. So perhaps this summer, if my skin is like feeling super dry, that'll be a great primer for me to reach for. I do just a shout out to my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is my oldest glowy product like this. I also have the e.l.f. product as well as the Auric Glow Lust, but I am trying to finish this year, kind of like unofficially trying to pan this, so I'm just gonna permanently keep this pulled as well. And then I did miss a primer. I have the Milani Chill Out Soothing Primer with Wild Oat Extract and Ceramides. I'm gonna put this away for a little bit just because I have obviously some primers that I have going in projects. I have my First Aid Beauty that I feel like is just so well suited to the summer, but I will pull this back out in the fall time and maybe try and finish that one this year. It's one of my favorite primers in my collection. And even though this is a drugstore primer, I find myself doing that thing where I feel like because it's a favorite, I feel like I have to like reserve it for special occasions, which is just so silly. For foundations, so my foundation situation is I've been using obviously the Kosas foundation, which is going in a project, but I've also kind of been trying to rotate through and use every single foundation slash skin tint in my collection just to re-familiarize myself with my entire collection and find out if there's anything that I want to declutter. But the two that I have pulled right now, I have the Dior Forever, which I kind of want to keep pulled just because when I think about the summertime and if I'm like going out and doing an activity and I want my makeup to look good all day, this is a foundation I'm reaching for. I also recently repurchased the Dior Forever. I repurchased the Skin Glow, so not the matte version, or this has more of a satin matte finish, but I'm gonna keep this pulled because I would like to potentially attempt to try and empty this foundation this year. It's one of the older ones in my collection. I feel like I'm a good chunk of the way through this. It's a reliable foundation. I know it's always gonna look good, so it's an easy reach. So I'm gonna keep that one pulled. I also have the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum right here, which I have this in my drawer, but I can't recall reaching for this. So I think I will actually like keep this pulled, at least to like use it 1 or 2 times and make sure I still really like this. I also have 4 new foundations that I've purchased, so I have a lot of new foundations to get through. I think I'll maybe end up pulling 1 or 2 other foundations just to really try and focus on, but I am gonna keep that one pulled for right now. Oh, I also have my Fenty Beauty Ease Drops pulled, which I have been reaching for these, or for this skin tint some, so I am ready to put this back and just grab a different skin tint to reach for. What else? Again, it's like I'm looking and I'm like, this is just pure chaos. So bronzers, do I only have one? No, okay. All right, we can do, let's talk about cream bronzer next. I have 3 pulled. I have the Rare Beauty Happy Soul Bronzing Stick. I have used this quite a bit, so I am ready to put that back. I am working on my Chanel bronzer in my Deca Panning Project pan, and I am trying to use that 30 times. So I do want to keep that in mind. The NARS Laguna Sun Kiss Bronzing Cream, I'm also going to keep pulled. I think I've only reached for this like 1 time, and I do really love this bronzer, so I want to make sure I'm getting some good use out of this summer. We'll keep this one pulled, as well as the Fenty Cheeks Out Cream Bronzer in the shade Butter Biscuit. I think I've only reached for this like 1 time. I would really like to make more of an effort to give this some more love. I purchased this I think last year, and I really do like the shade, like the way that this looks, like the formula. I've just been focused on other bronzers this year, so I'm gonna keep this one pulled. I feel like I'm keeping like a lot of stuff, but again, this is kind of just pure chaos, whatever. I have this Merit Beauty Cream foundation stick, which I am going to put back. I used this a couple of times, and I've used this a few times earlier this year as well. Again, just trying to kind of cycle through my entire foundation collection. I've recently bought quite a few foundations that I want to try and get through, and I have my foundations that I'm focused on in projects, so I'm going to put that back. The last bronzer I have pulled, it's a powder bronzer, and I'm going to keep this. I just recently reached into my collection to pull this into these drawers. It's the bronzer that is on my skin today. Keep in mind, again, walked 4 miles in this makeup, but it's the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick, and I have mine in the shade 3, which has the warm shade is Sand and the contour shade is Soul. I actually like to just mix these 2 together, but I find in the summer when I'm self tanning, this is one of the best bronzer matches to me, and I've really been enjoying reaching for this, so I'm going to continue to reach for this one, especially when it's the time of year that it just looks best suited for my skin. Okay, what do we have going on for blush? I have been using this quite a bit, so I should put this back. It's the Bite Beauty Melon Mojito liquid blush in the shade, the Daycation blush in the shade Melon Mojito. In fact, actually, I do have this on my cheeks today. And then what do I have? What powder blush do I have on top? Can I even remember? I think it is a NARS. No, it's one out of the Jaclyn Hill Rouge Romance palette. But I have been reaching for this quite a bit lately, and I do have a cream blush that I'm working on in my project pan, so I really should put this back for now, because I've been reaching for that almost too much. I also have my RMS Lip to Cheek in the shade Spell. It's this really beautiful, very neutral shade. I'm like, is this dried out? Do I just need to like wipe off the top layer? Ooh, this might, nope, I think, okay. Top layer was definitely dry. Ooh, that really is pretty. I haven't really reached this at all. Now, do I like this? Maybe this isn't necessarily like a June, July shade, but like end of August as we're transitioning into September. Maybe I'm feeling it then. I mean, maybe I shouldn't wait that long to reach for a product that like I just had to wipe off the top dry layer, but I'm gonna put this back for right now because I just don't see myself reaching for this, and I am just really feeling like bright orangey coral blushes right now, so that's not necessarily like the shade I'm reaching for. Okay, 2 powder blushes that I have been reaching for quite a bit, but I am gonna keep these rolled in because it is just my favorite combination and I'm loving it for this time of year. It's the Lawless Powder Blush in the shade Angel Suede, and I love to mix it with the Knotless Skin Glazing in the shade Truth. This combination just makes the most beautiful glowy pink blush or glowy pink cheek, and I absolutely love it. I have reached for this combination quite a bit already this year, but I'm not ready to stop. I'm not ready to stop. I know I could put these away, but I would just like sneak into my closet and grab them anyway. So we're gonna keep them just pulled as is. I also had this Ilia bronzer pulled, kind of like jumping back over to bronzer. It is the Ilia Drawn In Nightlight Bronzing Powder. I had pulled this because I wanted to try and expand the pan, although I am currently trying to pan other bronzers. And I do also want to pull in at least 1 to 2 other bronzers. I think I'm going to put this away. I've reached for it a couple of times. I can always circle back to this one. This is something that works well for me more like fall time as well. So I'm gonna come back to that. We're gonna put that away for right now. What else? I feel like I have so many highlighters. Okay, blushes. I have my Hourglass Sublime Flush Blush. This is newer to my collection, but after testing all of the products that I hauled during the Sephora VIB haul, I immediately put this back into my Shop My Stash rotation, and what do I want to do? It is a more pinky blush. I know I should put it back. I am struggling. I know I should put it back. I'm gonna keep it pulled for right now, but if when we go Shop My Stash, and if I pull too much blush that it doesn't fit anymore, then perhaps I'll put that back. But for right now, we're gonna keep it pulled. Okay, I also have my Persona Super Blush in the shade Georgia, this really beautiful peachy shade. Love this blush shade for this time of year. I'm definitely keeping this pulled. I have been into a peachy orangey blush, as I mentioned, and this is such a beautiful formula, so I'm going to keep that blush pulled. Do I have anything else? Any other blushes, or are these all? You guys, I have so many highlighters. So many highlighters pulled. Okay. The one and only liquid / cream highlight I have pulled is this one from Burt's Bees. It's the Luminizer Nourishing Highlighter. I have mine in the shade Starlight. I haven't reached for this at all, so I'm going to keep this pulled. It's a really beautiful pink highlight, but I do want to pull a couple other cream / liquid highlights to also add to my rotation. I have the ABH Amrezy highlighter, which I believe I've reached for twice, and I kind of want to keep this one rolled in just because this is like the time of year I feel like I would be reaching for this, so I am going to keep that one rolled in. I will be putting back my Vesca Beauty highlight. I have reached for this one quite a bit. This is in the shade Moonlight. I do have a pan on this one, which I have been working to try and expand, but this is really a highlight that works for me all year round, so I'd rather focus on highlighters that are more seasonally specific to summer for me right now and put that one away, and I can pull that one again kind of either fall winter or even next spring summer. I did have one other cream highlight. This is the Rose Ink Cream Highlight in the shade Opalescent. It is this really beautiful kind of ethereal pinky purple sort of highlight shade, and I actually did reach for this quite a bit. A part of me wants to keep this one pulled. Let's see. Ooh, just because it's like a little bit more like less intense. Oh, I feel like I've been bad about putting things back. I'm gonna keep this pulled for one more rotation. I have really been enjoying that one. I will put back my Pixie highlighter. This is the Pixie by Petra Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Delicate Dew. I have reached for this one quite a bit, and in fact I do feel like I've expanded the pan on this side a bit. I would like, during my July update, because we are going to update this Shop My Stash in July, I'd like to pull this back out just because this is a shade that I am honestly probably not going to ever get use out of on my cheeks, but potentially as a body highlight, and I would love to hit pan on this side of this highlighter this year, but I'm going to put it away for right now. I'm also going to put away my Fenty Beauty highlight in the shade Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. I've been reaching for this one also quite a bit. I've expanded the pan some on this side, which is super exciting, and I should just really be reaching for other things. I have quite a few other highlights in my collection, so need to grab for some of those. I have not reached for the M Cosmetics Sunscape highlighter in the shade Clarity at all, so I will keep this pulled. This is something that's like kind of on the chopping block. Like, I really need to decide if this truly is something that is going to stay in my collection, and so I'm going to keep it pulled so we can decide that. And then the last highlighter is this Dior highlight in the shade 1, I believe, the Nude Luminizer. Did I reach for this at all? I can't honestly remember, so I feel like I should keep this pulled one more rotation, potentially, because I don't remember using it. I will keep it pulled one more rotation. Yes. Okay, moving on to these drawers. So I really just have a lot of my everyday products that I use. Like, I have my mascaras in here, which my current mascaras that are open are the Blink Original Tubing Mascara, which I don't love. I also have this one from MAC. This is the, well, I'm not sure, but this is what the packaging looks like. I also don't love this one either. And then I have And Ilia, not my favorite from Ilia, but my second favorite from Ilia. I don't know what this one is called either, but I have, those are my mascaras. I have a bunch of single eyeshadows. So I have the Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Kitten Kaleidoscope. I'm gonna keep that in my drawer just to get use out of it. I also have some ColourPop Super Shock shadows, which I've not been great about reaching for. So I have the Flower Child shade, as well as Ladybird and Sail Away. I'm gonna keep all of these up here. I also have ColourPop Ritz, which I am trying to work on this year. I have Urban Decay Space Cowboy, which I have not really reached for at all, but this is super similar to Ritz, so I think maybe I'll put this away since I'm trying to focus on Ritz. I also have my Victoria Beckham Lid Luster in the shade Tea Rose, which is this really beautiful, like, pink shade, but I haven't reached for this one either, so I really need to get around to reaching for this because this was an expensive shadow. I also have the Tarte Chrome Paint Pot in the shade Top Ya, and this is getting older in my collection. It's this really beautiful champagne shade, so I should reach for that. And then I also have my NARS eyeshadow primer, which is the eyeshadow primer I'm using right now. I have my NYX glitter glue, and then I have my NYX the brow glue as well. And then for lips, I am going to keep a lot of these lip products just pulled up here because they are things either that I want to focus on to try and finish, or I want to focus on them because they're a vibrant shade that I want to focus on this summer. So I have Bite Beauty Orange Fizz. I have Kosas, the lip oil in the shade Jaws. I also have my NYX This Is Juice Gloss in the shade Watermelon Sugar. Lime Crime True Love, as well as Fenty Beauty Tang Tang. Again, all these are like, well, with the exception of the NYX, these are like orangey red lips that I really want to focus on for like a bright pop of lip for this summer. And then I have a couple other just like random things. Like I have the Milk Makeup lipstick in the shade Cream, and I have this Buxom lipstick in the shade Coral Confession, which is a really beautiful coral. Again, kind of like a pop of color on the lips. I also have my Tarte Maracuja Lip Plump in the shade Poppy, just because again, it's kind of like a bright peach for this time of year. I have two lip glosses that I want to focus on trying to potentially complete in the next few months. I have the Tower 28 Lip Jelly in the shade Coconut, and then I have this Becca gloss, the Liquid Crystal Lip Topper Glow Gloss in the shade Citrine X Apricot. So I really want to focus on those two. And then I also just pulled my Fenty Beauty Pout Sickle in the shade Strawberry Sangria because it is, again, another pop of color for the lips. So that is everything that we are currently working on slash what is currently in the rotation and the things that will be going back. Now it is time for us to finally go shop my stash. Alright, you guys, we are ready to shop my stash. I'm gonna try and make the lighting work as much as I can, but my stash is in my closet, so sometimes the lighting can be a little bit wonky. But in my first drawer, we have primer, powder, and concealer. I am focused on my Dior concealer, which I'm getting really close to in my project, but I am gonna grab or do I want to grab the LYS, or should I grab NYX Born to Glow? Because this is a bit lighter coverage for the summer. I think I'm gonna grab NYX Born to Glow. And then next update, I may grab for my LYS. I also really want to reach for my Charlotte Tilbury again, but right now we're just going to grab the NYX. For primer, I am going to grab my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is the last of my e.l.f. primers. And I wouldn't have said this at the beginning of the year, but I think I'm actually going to miss my e.l.f. primers when they're all gone. Specifically the e.l.f. Jelly Pop. That one is my favorite. They do a really nice job of gripping, but I might go back to the LYS gripping primer when I finish this, but I would like to finish this e.l.f. primer. I'm about halfway through it, so I'm going to pull that out. And then I think I do not like this Nabla primer at all, but it is a more radiant primer, so I feel like this would be the time of year to get use out of this. So I think I'm actually going to pull that Nabla primer as well. My skin is like already, it can already feel the Nabla primer on it, and it's not loving it. For powder, I don't have anything I want to grab. I have enough powder that I'm working on, so we will be done with this drawer. Moving on to my foundation and tinted moisturizer drawer. There might be some missing from here, only because I'm currently in the process of doing my makeup inventory. I was just away for 2 days, and I have stuff still in my makeup bag, so it might just look a little bit different. It's been a bit since I have reached for my Oma by Sharon C foundation. I love this foundation. I also feel like it would be a good match for me this time of year. And I kind of want to pull my L'Oreal True Match. Like, this is such a beautiful foundation, but I've worn this so much this year. By the way, my daughter had to get her own L'Oreal True Match because she was using it so much. So that's why I have two, but this one does not count in my makeup inventory. Let's see. Do I want to grab anything else? I feel like maybe I should grab the Tula. Maybe I will grab the Tula Radiant Skin Brightening Skin Serum. This is more light coverage, so I feel like a perfect time of year to reach for that. I want to pull for the Clinique Even Better, just because this only matches me in the summer. I'm going to do that too. Okay. Then we're going to call it good for foundation. Moving on to bronzer. What do I want to grab for bronzer? I'm going to grab Huda Glowish for sure, because I've recently been reaching for the Kosas for a glowy bronzer, and I haven't reached for this one that much yet this year. And then I'm also going to grab my Vive Duo. This is definitely more of like a summer duo for me, just in terms of shade. I do have my Victoria Beckham pulled as well, but I will pull this. I do have a couple of cream bronzers already pulled, but maybe I'll try and get a little bit more use out of my Rare Beauty. Also, you guys, I'm filming this like a week after I filmed the products that were in my drawer, and I'm like, was this in my drawer and I already put this back? And now I'm repulling it again. If that's the case, oh well, I'm going to pull that as well, and then we're going to call it good for... I feel like I should pull Vesca Santorini Sunrise. Is that what it is? Kissed by Santorini. Just because this again is better suited to me this time of year. So I'm going to pull this as well. Moving down, we have my blush drawer getting more and more condensed by the day, it feels. I'm going to pull a lot of blush. I'm going to pull my Huda Coral blush stick. I'm also going to pull my Say Dewy Blush in Poppy. What else? Oh, I do need to get use out of this Kosas duo because my Tropic Equinox went bad, so I want to get use out of this while I still can. This is in the shade Velvet Melon. Do I want to grab any other? I'm going to pull the shade Joy from Rare Beauty next rotation, just because I already have quite a few cream blushes pulled, kind of in the same shade. And then for powder, I'm going to pull this one from Honest Beauty. This is in the shade Foxy. It's a really beautiful shimmery blush for this time of year. And I will also pull this one from Nabla, another really gorgeous skin glazing. This is in the shade Lola. I feel like this will be a really beautiful blush for this time of year. I also feel like I should pull Bare Minerals Kiss of Copper, just because this is the time of year I would reach for it. I'll do that, and I just realized I decluttered Wild Honey from Bare Minerals, but it snuck back into my collection. I promise I didn't mean to do that, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to still declutter this and set that aside. But for a more neutral-ish blush, I'm going to grab Songbird from Becca. And then the last blush I'm going to pull is this one from Vive Cosmetics. This is in the shade Sorbet. A really, really beautiful bright pop of like orangey coral for this time of year. All right, you guys, in this drawer we have, this is like eye primers and brow products. This is mascara, and then we have all of my highlights. What do I want to do for highlight? I'm gonna pull this one from Natasha Denona because I just mentioned in all the products with pan in my collection, I either need to use this or declutter this. It's the Natasha Denona Glow in the all over face and body. I used to love this, so I'm gonna pull this. My loose powder highlight from Artist Couture I think is in my makeup bag that I was traveling with, so I'm gonna grab that too just because I love that highlighter for this time of year. And maybe I'll also grab the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pillow Talk. Whoops, there it is. I will just grab this because I've reached for all of these other cream highlighters more recently, it feels like. I'm also going to grab this one from Milk. This is my Flex highlighter in the shade Lit. I would love to hit pan on this. This is a really beautiful formula, and it's been a while since I've reached for this one. It's so smooth and glossy on the skin, so perfect for this time of year. And then I'm going to call it good, even though I don't have a pink highlighter that I pulled. I mean, obviously I'm working on Becca Rose Quartz. Okay, I'm also gonna pull Laura Mercier Rose Glow just for another pink highlight. Okay, moving into this drawer, we have lip liners, single shadows, and setting sprays. These are like the 2 setting sprays that I'm currently not using. So I have the MAC Fix Plus. I have another Fix Plus that I'm working on. And then I also have the Makeup Revolution Hydrate and Fix, which I'll pull once I finish my current MAC Fix Plus. But do I want to grab a single shadow? Maybe? I've been really bad at reaching for my single shadows. I mean, mostly always, especially like this type of single. I'm better at like the single pans, but I think I'm going to pull Urban Decay Space Cowboy, and I have a couple other singles in my makeup travel bag that I will grab, and I will show you guys those. And you guys, the bottom 2 drawers I have cleared out completely, with the exception of like I have packaging in here and just like empty drawers. But we still have 2 drawers to get through. For my lips, I haven't necessarily been pulling a ton. Well, I've been trying to just reach for things as I feel like reaching for them, but I also want to pull a couple of focus ones. So just thinking through like pops of color on the lips, I'm going to grab this one from Lime Crime. This is in the shade True Love. And then for maybe like a 4th of July lip, like a true red, I'm going to grab Persona Holy Grail. And then I think I'll also grab Physicians Formula Watermelon Sugar, just because it feels very fitting for this time of year. And then the rest I'm going to leave, and I will just pull for lip products from here as I feel. Then we have like my Holy Grail lip drawer. So we have some of my absolute favorite staples in this drawer. There's quite a few products that I pulled into my travel makeup bag, like way too many that I was hoping to get use out of, which for the amount of time I was traveling, it was way too many, you guys. But I am going to grab for this one, the Fenty Heat in the shade Hot Cherry, just because I feel like for a red lip for the summer, for a little bit more plump lips, this will be perfect. And that is going to be it for this drawer. Do I want to pull maybe Makeup by Mario? Apricot Glow as well. This feels fitting for the summer. Okay, and then last but not least, we have my lip sticks. I don't know what I want to do here. I think I'll grab this one from MAC. This is in the shade Feeling Sentimental. It's a really beautiful pale nude. Maybe I'll also grab for this one from e.l.f. in the shade Cream for a true like pale nude. And then what else, if anything? Okay, Stila Emma and Too Faced Naked Dolly. Sorry, I can't seem to focus and I can't get it with one hand. These 2 I either need to use or literally declutter. So I am going to pull these and see what happens. Alright, you guys, I'm in a bit of a rush to get to work, but here are just some final products that I'll be pulling into my Shop My Stash. Okay, hopefully the lighting is better up here. I have the NARS Overlust Face Palette. I am just wanting to hit pan in that final highlighter shade, and then I'll put this back. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to try not to use this as much for the blushes. I already have been using this a ton and need to just like put this down. But I do want to hit pan in those shades. I also have the Jaclyn Cosmetics Rouge Romance palette. This is just so much fun for the summer. I also have new products in my collection I'm still testing. If you guys are interested, I'll leave my most recent haul down below if you're interested in seeing what products those might be. But I'm going to pull the Rouge Romance. I also have this highlighting palette from Lancome that I want to hit pan in that final highlighter shade in the shade Gilded Gold, and then I'll put this back, but it's the perfect time of year for me to hit pan on this, so I will be working on that. I also want to get use out of this Dior highlighting quad. I recluttered this into my collection semi-recently and told myself like that I would use it, but I really haven't been, so I need to either use this or re-declutter it. And then just a few more lip products. I have the Fenty Beauty lip stain in Strawberry Sangria. I have this Bite lip crayon, this really beautiful fiery orange. This is in the shade Orange Fizz. I have the Kosas lip oil. I love this formula. This is in the shade Jaws. I love this for like a popsicle lip sort of look. It's like a red, but it's like a muted red. It's so pretty. Then I also have this one, which I almost forgot about. It's my Givenchy lip balm. This is in the shade 110. It's a really beautiful, like just nude lip balm, and I really enjoy that. Two more two more eye products, and then I really will be done. This is in the shade Starfire from Urban Decay. I'm so close to finishing this, and it's a really beautiful copper, so really fun with some warm eye looks. And then finally, I have Tarte's Top Yacht, which is this really beautiful champagne cream sparkly shade. So I would like to get some use out of this as well. Okay, as mentioned, I'm in a rush to get to work. Here's my drawers half filled up. I still have some of the products sitting on top of my vanity, but this is going to be my next Shop My Stash rotation. If you guys saw anything today you'd like me to pull into my next Shop My Stash, let a girl know in the comments. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Bye!